the next question that comes up is, why is humanity and the world shifting? And that's a good question, because the thing is, a lot of people think, well, we've had it this way for so long, and now we're going through this powerful shift. But why is it shifting in the first place? Well, the thing is, we have to understand that we go through stages in our life. And not only we're talking about life in a human form, we're talking about a source itself, basically being that being that you are. Now, anything that we create in any reality that exists at a point in time, we will experience to a certain level where you achieve a certain level of saturation, where you've experienced it fully and completely. Now, that usually activates a point where you're saying, okay, now it's time for upgrade, time to shift something to create something completely new. However, being that we are source, being that our natural state is constant movement, and our natural state is always bringing things even further and further in maximum exploration, and also a higher achievement of who you truly are is being achieved at this time. Basically, all the planets, all aspects of the galaxy, the universe, and all the different planets are constantly shifting. And what really shifts is really consciousness is shifting in it, and the energy is shifting in there. So we've came to a point where, specifically on planet Earth, which is kind of unique in a way. I mean, every planet, of course, is unique. But planet Earth, in a way, has created a disconnect for a period of time where there was a very slowed down, almost to a standstill of evolutionary cycle. Let's call it that for the lack of better words at the moment, where there was a shifting occurring, but it was very minuscule in comparison to the natural flow. So there was a kind of a retardation of flow where something was put in place so to slow it down. So in that case, right now we've come to a point where there's this universal transformation or shift that's taking place, and this activation occurred on planet Earth. So what's happened is that we are now taking huge leaps and shifts, because what we've done is taken the brakes off, in a sense, of what we had stopped ourselves from going from the evolutionary cycle. So we're now going through a fast-paced evolutionary cycle. But the purpose of this shifting is really now to match the energy field, to match the consciousness of the true essence of who we are. It's not so much the upgrade on a physical level, saying, okay, humanity is ready to shift. That is a part of it. But that is only a follow-up of really the true part, the big component of it, as being the state that we are, that we have chosen at this point in time to create an upgrade within our experience and to create a shift in the playground and the school area that we're playing in. So that is what is taking place at this time. Now, sometimes we turn around and the mind level would like to think that, why is this shift going on? I don't want things to change. And of course, the ego mind doesn't really like change. It can get bored very easily and wants to spice it up in one way or another, but ultimately it doesn't like change. So right now, that is not put into the forefront and saying, well, okay, we're not going to make this shift or do something of some nature because the mind and the ego minds or the physicalities or the programs are not ready or choosing to have this experience. Really, it's the souls, what we're calling source itself within each individualized self as a collective, because this is a collective effort here that has streamlined and started this motion forward. And this is why the shift is taking place. And of course, the shifting on the planet is to match the shifting that we are doing in the physical body, in the physical expression, but it's also to match the new playground that or what we call the new expression that we are choosing to do as a soul, as a consciousness. Now, of course, the souls are going through all of this, and we're going through an upgrade. And what does the shift really take place? The shift is going from a third-dimensional consciousness to a fourth-dimensional consciousness, which we are now in, and the planet itself is reflecting fourth-dimensional consciousness. Of course, humanity, the majority, is still playing in third and going through the stages of transformation, and that is kind of a teething process, and we can cover that more as we go along in other audios, or videos. At this point in time, what we're looking at is that with the shifting that we're going is that the next level is going into fifth dimensional consciousness. Now, I know we talk about 3D, 4D, and so forth. Now, what we're looking at is we've always on a physical plane have been a fourth dimensional, well, we shouldn't even call it fourth dimension, a 4D physical expression. However, we were living in a third dimensional consciousness, which was very physical, very attuned to a body and a definition, or basically a definition of self through a body. But now with the fourth dimensional consciousness, we start to utilize the body as what it was originally designed as a vehicle, rather than it being you. So now you're bringing the focus back to, at this point in time, of your essence as source itself in a physical form, the soul that you are, that is now expressing itself and playing itself in a physical form. So that is part of the transformation and why the shift is really taking place. The shift is to match what we are choosing and what we are vibrating. Because remember, the true essence of who we are, source itself, is upgrading. And as it's upgrading, consciousness in it is upgrading. The frequency of creation is increasing. All of that is increasing. So of course, the expressions on each planet, the physicalities on each planet, each planet being the playground, schoolyard, the scenery behind it, needs to match that. So that's what's really going on with the shift. So the time has come where we are now ready. We are ready. And the readiness is also coming through at the mind level. And that is all part and parcel. So this is the reason that we're going through this process at this time and why we're shifting.